Hello, my lovelies! Welcome to Torrin Talk. It's going to be a lazy edition because I didn't put up anything, didn't get any lights out, yada yada yada. It's Halloween! Happy Halloween! But I have stuff to do, and I got to get this out quick because costumes I made for our Halloween party have suffered some damage. So I'm going to have to do something for myself for when the trick-or-treaters come, because I always dress for my trick-or-treaters. Nothing too elaborate, I don't think. Just some makeup, and I found some like black cheesecloth. I'll figure something out. Any hoodles, the old man and I went to our Halloween party on Saturday. Had a good time. There was barbecue and oysters on a big fire pit, and I just like, even though he never watches, Michael, thank you for shucking my oysters for me. You guys, like, I love oysters, can't shuck them, can't. I can get every piece of meat out of crab legs, crab claws. I am the queen, but I can never get oysters shucked properly. I don't have the knack, so Michael always shucks my oysters for me. So thank you, Michael, because I had lovely, they put the oysters right on top of the big grill, on top of the open fire pit, so they're beautifully, warm and cooked on the inside. I can't do them straight on the half, you guys, when they're still raw. The texture gets me. But this way is awesome because as soon as you bite into them, they go, and then it just tastes like ocean, and it's, oh, yes. So, needless to say, thanks, Michael. So, any hoodles, so we went to the party, and I told you guys we were doing a pun this year, the old man and I. So I made our outfits out of poster board, and paint and tape and staples and nylon, any hoodles. They were awesome and they held up, but since it was kind of outside and on like a screened-in porch, like a giant screened-in porch kind of thing, they sort of got damp. And then when we shoved them in the back seat of the car, on the way home, they got squished, so now they're not round anymore, but I'll show you what they looked like. So the old man and I went as assault and battery. A pun, as in I was assault. Here, I will show you a picture. Put the picture up. There should be a picture here. We'll go over here. Here should be a picture. There we are, assault and battery. Ha 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 ha. Yay. But I'll show you close-ups. I seriously cannot paint faces. This is my salt. As you see, we are no longer round. But there's my Morton Salt girl. She's all hand painted. You can see from her face, I really can't do faces. But from back here, she looks pretty good. So I was Salt. And I glued little salt shakers to things to put in my head. I made a necklace that was a salt shaker. You know me. You know me, I go too far. And then my husband was Battery, so he was a Duracell battery. This one was much easier, as you can imagine. So he was Battery, so we were Salt and Battery. And then I just made tubes and suspenders. Of course, he broke it not 5 seconds after we got there, but I refinagled it. So, so we were Salt and Battery, and we won! We got best costume. We won. Barely. We won by 1 vote over Steven, who came as an Oompa Loompa. I mean, full-on stripy socks, orange face, green wig. He looked wonderful. But pun won out! So now I have to come up with something really good for next year. But yeah, look how cute he is. Look, he's holding his little head. Isn't that adorable? That's adorable. But we won, and I feel awesome. I like to win, you guys know. I mean, I don't get pouty and mad when I lose, but I really like to win. So, yay! Any hoodles? So yeah, but since my costumes are, and I wouldn't have Joe anyway, because he's going to be making sausages while I'm handing out candy bars, just a can of Morton salt doesn't really make a great costume. So I'm going to just, I don't know, drape myself some black fabric and do some crazy makeup and look gothish or old or, I don't know, decrepit. I'll do some sort of ghouly makeup and be done with it. I'll post a picture on Instagram when I'm finally done. I was just going to do vampire, but I couldn't find any fangs at Walmart. I wasn't going to Spirit of Halloween for good fangs. I just wasn't doing it. And the plastic fangs are crappy. So I figure I'll just be something ghoulish. And we'll see. But I'll post pictures on Instagram before trick or treat this evening, so you can see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I got to get stuff together so dinner will be ready. We're going to have to eat early before the trick or treaters get here. And then, of course, my book club meets tonight. It's a special Halloween edition of book club. It meets tonight at 8 o'clock, 8 or 9. I have to double check for it. I told you guys, it's been a little while that I reread it. So I love book club. It's an online book club, which I highly recommend if you guys live someplace where there's not, there's not a book club, that join an online book club, because at least you get to do something. I don't always make it, and sometimes I've started some of the books that we were reading and I'm just like, not for me. Snow Crash, anyone? That book is bad. I know it's supposed to be like a parody, not really even a parody, but just like a hard look at sci-fi and themes and whatever you got. That book was not for me. Not for me. The first paragraph, I hated it. Like, I read it out loud to Joe, and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read. And then I thought, maybe it's a parody. Okay, let's get a little further. I read the first 100 pages and was just like, I am not enjoying myself. I do not like this book. It's terrible. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, it's the greatest sci-fi book ever, which, if you think so, that is awesome. I am so happy that you have a book that you love. It's not my jam. Just like I am a huge Stephen King fan, and I know he is not for everybody. And not just because of its horror. Some of you guys think he gets a little too wordy, which he does, but I don't mind. I like a big long book to read. But yeah. So yeah, but I'm very excited because we're doing it tonight. And having read it, now that I'm a much older woman and have more experience and hopefully some sort of wisdom under my belt, I realize that there are some themes and some things that are extremely problematic. Poor Bevy. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to, participate in discussion. Well, we'll see. But any hoodles. Oh, and if you're wondering, it's the Unspoiled Book Club. I know I've talked to you guys about Natasha before and her podcast empire. I love her. She's wonderful. And she's really cool because if you send her messages, she almost always messages you back, when she has time anyways. And she tries to make time, which is righteous. So yeah. But she decided to start a book club, and I love it because we love to read, and I love being a part of the community over there, and because pretty cool group of people. Hey hoodles, that's enough for me. It's 8 minutes. We're gonna keep it short today. It's Halloween. I am sure you guys are busy, so I just wanted to let you know that. Oh, and I have a new podcast that I'm following. My friend Rose told me about it. I got Rose into The Dollop, and if you haven't read The Dollop, I think it was Ida from Sweden that told me about The Dollop, which is an American history podcast, but it's by 2 comedians, so it's hilarious. It's awful. Like, American history is so awful, but oh my God. And this is like the deep, dark, dank parts of American history that nobody should know about. Well, no, some of them are just funny. Some of them are weird, but some of them are terrible. Yeah, The Dollop's pretty awesome. So I find it incredibly amusing, and I learn things, which I love. So Ida told me about The Dollop, which I became addicted to. And then I told my friend Rose about The Dollop. And then she got ahead of me because I listen to a lot of podcasts now, so I'm a little behind on The Dollop. And apparently The Dollop had these 2 gals on, Karen and Georgia, and they have a podcast. So Rose told me about that podcast, and it's called My Favorite Murder. Now, you guys know I'm like a true crime junkie. Like Investigation Discovery Channel is my jam. I love all that stuff. And I wasn't really sure why, and I always felt weird about loving it, but my friend Rose and I, like, we're both true crime people. It's the whole psychology and everything, and I think it's because I'm super empathetic. And but listening to Karen and Georgia, I think I finally figured out what it is that they are both terrified of being murdered or something terrible happening, so they think if they talk about it and investigate it and learn everything they can, then maybe it won't happen to them. And I think they're right. And I like the way they talk about things. Now, granted, I apparently know way too much about murder, so sometimes they get their facts wrong. This is early on, though. They get much better about that as they go on. I'll be like, no, this is what you mean, or, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about, or this is the name, or this is the term you're looking for. But, you know, but I'm just talking to myself, so hey, that's fine. But yeah, like as it has gotten further, I think I'm on episode 20 now, they've gotten much better at like hardcore, like a little more hardcore research than it was. They still try and tell like each other the stories in story form, which I like, and they leave out a lot of the really gross things, which is also nice. And they talk about like the impact it has on them, which I also appreciate, because that is the whole thing about it, is the impact it has. But I think they're right that maybe if I know as much as I possibly can know about this, then it will never happen to me, and it's like a fear thing. I think that's correct. But anyway, if you are into like true crime and things like that, I know there are a lot of true crime podcasts out there. I listen to a few of them. I do. Especially ones that like go super in depth into things. But I really like My Favorite Murder because it's a kind of a lighter take, and it's some super dark humor, so you kind of got to be into that kind of thing. But yeah, give Georgia and Karen a go. I think you'll like them. If you're into that kind of thing. If you're not, then just, you know, disregard. But any hoodles, that's my shout out. I'm going to go and prep dinner, so it'll be super fast for me to put together, and try and figure out what I'm going to do with this mess for Halloween. Ugh, I don't even know how this looks. Maybe if I back up, it'll look better. I'm just standing right underneath the ceiling fan. I'm sure if I get up close, it'll be all like shadows. Anywho. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I think I had something to try, and I can't remember what it is right now, but hopefully I'll remember by then. This is how I run my show. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Oh, have a great day, and happy Halloween. Bye.